Hello and welcome to Box Office Receipts. I am your host Alan Callahan, and it's more of a quiet week as we await the Lunar New Year, and with that, the first of hopefully huge numbers of 2021. Those numbers are for next week. Let's talk about this week's numbers. So it was Super Bowl weekend, which normally means a quieter box office, but with the pandemic it actually did not make much of a difference at all. Staying in first place was The Little Things with 2.1 million, for a total of 7.8 million. In second place, for what I think is at least a month at this point, is The Croods: A New Age with 1.76 million, for a total of 46 million. I think it should have hit 50 million at this point. In third place is The Marksman with an even 1 million, for a total of 9.1 million. In fourth place was Wonder Woman 1984 with 905,000, for a total of 40.3 million. Lastly, in fifth place is Monster Hunter with 585,000, for a total now of 11.9 million. Yeah, so no change at the box office, however. We do have a new wide release coming out this week with Judas and the Black Messiah, which, unlike Warner Brothers' latest movies, have been getting stellar reviews, and thanks to the late submission rules, could be eligible for some Oscars. Look for that to easily take first place this weekend with, I would say, at least $5 million, but I'm hoping for more. Heading over to China the weekend before the biggest holiday of the year, it's completely collapsed. While that may seem bad, it's simply the calm before the storm, and I'll get to some early numbers of pre-sale tickets to show it. Anyway, back in first place is Shockwave 2, which made 4.8 million, for a total of 196 million. In second place was A Little Red Flower with 4.6 million, for a total of 216 million. Dropping from first to third is Big Red Envelope with 4.3 million, for a total of 32.8 million. In fourth place was Wish Dragon with 2.3 million, and finally in fifth place was Warm Hug with 2.1 million. There is some news over the weekend with Soul, which made 1.7 million, to now have a total of 56 million. It has now surpassed The Incredibles 2 to be the second highest grossing Pixar movie in the country, with Coco likely staying in first place for a long time, with it at 189 million. Now, these are only pre-sale numbers, but right now it is clear the number one movie next weekend for the holidays will be Detective Chinatown 3, with pre-sales currently at 60 million and are expected to hit 100 million before it opens. With this, analysts are expecting $250 million opening weekend minimum. That's right, 250 million minimum. That's the floor. That is fucking insane. And that is not including the other 3 to 4 movies that'll do pretty well right behind it. If it opens to that, we are looking at a run of $700 to $800 million, which would instantly make it the number one movie worldwide. And now, let's say, 250, it goes past that. Let's say it does 350. Well, if 350 is the opening weekend, then we're looking at 800 to 900. There is a small chance here. If it has legs, this could be the first billion-dollar movie just in China. And if that happens, that would be a new record, because America was close to having a billion-dollar movie in its own territory with Star Wars: The Force Awakens, but it tapped down like the 900 millions. So this would be a first for any country. And just take that away for a second. If it hits a billion or even 800 million at least, then this will be the number one movie worldwide until at least May, and that's assuming Black Widow comes out and it's available in most theaters around the world. But next week is gonna be fun breaking down these numbers. Looking at the movie updates worldwide, The Little Things made a measly 1.4 million over the weekend, with it now having a worldwide total of 13 million. Very weak. Wonder Woman 1984 is now at 154.5 million worldwide and has basically slowed down to a crawl. What is surprising that might happen is The Croods possibly beating Wonder Woman worldwide. Not a prediction I saw coming. The animated movie is at 147 million worldwide, and while not doing huge numbers, it is moving steadily along, at least domestically. With less than $10 million to go, it's possible. So as to what's going on in Hollywood, we'll start off with some disappointing news, with Disney having decided to shut down Blue Sky Animation Studios. The studio most famous for the Ice Age franchise will be shut down in April. As for the 450 employees impacted by this, Disney has decided not to do any layoffs yet, and is working on transferring employees to other studios first. While this may have been inevitable down the road, A Disney spokesperson did say that this was due to the current economic conditions, which is a fair reason. The company is going almost a full year without Disneyland being open, and the rest of the parks besides Disney World keep opening up and closing down based on cases. Deadline is reporting that they did have one movie still in development called Nemora, set to release next January. That movie has been cancelled. The studio will not finish it, and Disney will not move it over to another animation studio to complete it. This makes Spies in the Skies the last Blue Sky release, and it does suck to hear this because while some of their IP will live on, like Ice Age, I would have liked some more internal competition between Disney's animation studios. Now it's just back to Disney Animation Studio and Pixar. I hope everyone affected by it is able to get new jobs at Disney or somewhere else as fast as possible. Next, we got a small update on the Dungeons & Dragons movie from Paramount starring Chris Pine. The movie has now added Michelle Rodriguez and Justice Smith to the cast. It is currently unclear if they are also for lead roles or supporting ones, and there's still no set release date for the movie. I feel this is one of those movies that is just so out there. It could be good or it'll just be mediocre. Universal has delayed another movie, this one almost a full year. The movie called Marry Me, starring Jennifer Lopez, was set to come out in May, has been pushed back to February 11th, 2022. It will now go up against Uncharted from Sony for Valentine's Day weekend. A small note, but the studio did release a TV spot for F9 for the Super Bowl, and at the end it did say in theaters soon, but it did not confirm the May release date. Well, they have not delayed it yet. This has made it clear the studio will do so if they need to. Staying with Universal, they have announced a new monster movie in the works, and it's not what you think. For this one, they are taking another swing at Dracula with Chloe Zhao running the project as director, writer, and producer. The take on the monster is different from what we've seen so far, with The Hollywood Reporter saying Zhao's take is, quote, original, futuristic, sci-fi western, end quote. So it's definitely a different kind of movie, but I think it could work. Clearly, Zhao is very talented. We are seeing that now with Nomadland, and hopefully later this year with Internals. Like a lot of recent monster movie announcements from Universal, this one does not have a release date yet, so it will be a while. While the Wall Street Bets Gamestop saga really will have a lot of projects based on it, besides the MGM movie we talked about last week, Netflix has announced they are making a movie based on it. Shocking. But now also the founder of the subreddit has sold the rights to his life story to Rat Pack Entertainment. The company has also bought the film rights to the book Wall Street Bets How Boomers Made the world's biggest casino for millennials. Now, just because they got the rights does not mean the movies will come out. The production company has not helped release the film since 2018, after Warner Brothers cut ties with them, because of the allegations surrounding one of the co-founders, Brett Ratner, underage boys and all that. So, unless they have a studio lined up to help make these movies, and as part of a comeback for the production company, these will never be produced, or it's simply straight to DVD level quality. Project that could get done, though, is at HBO, where they too are developing a film based on what happened. So right now, not including the Rat Pack stuff, there are 3 separate films about what happened. Looking forward to all the different takes on it. VOD Premium is really light this week, but we did get an update on the Without Remorse movie starring Michael B. Jordan. Last year was in flux whether Paramount actually did sell it to Amazon or not, and when it would be coming out. With Paramount before the pandemic, it was supposed to come out last September. Now Amazon has confirmed that they do have the movie, and it will be coming out April 30th, which I think is a good date for it. So that will be it for this week's episode of Box Office Receipts. Like I said, VOD Premium was really light. Question for the episode is, how much do you think Detective Chinatown 3 will make opening weekend? I'm going to go big, $350 million. Records are going to be broken this weekend. Let me know what you think on Facebook. Link to the pages in the show notes. Thank you for listening. See you next time.